It's eCommerce Minute, your weekly dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your host, John Suter, Bart Mraz, and Brittany Blackman. The eCommerce Minute is a production of SUMO Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com.
It's the eCommerce Minute, episode 778. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. These are our top stories in e-commerce, tech, and retail for the week of January 4th, 2021. Walmart partners with FedEx. As COVID cases rise and the possibility of another lockdown is on the horizon, companies are making sure that we can still easily spend our cash and make returns from the comfort of our homes. Walmart has partnered with FedEx, allowing customers to return packages without having to leave the house. Sounds good to me. The new service is called Carrier Pickup by FedEx. Customers begin the return process on Walmart's website or app, schedule a date for pickup, and then print a label. The package is then picked up by a FedEx employee. Walmart said the full amount will be refunded to the customer within a day of return or the same day in case of an in-store return. The big box retailer said it would roll out an alternative location with some stores for in-store returns. For those that don't have a printer, customers can also make a return at any of the roughly 2,000 U.S. FedEx office locations by getting a QR code from Walmart's website. A FedEx employee will then print a free return label and ship it back, a similar service that is already offered by Amazon and UPS. The new shipping options come as Walmart's U.S. online sales soared 79% in the most recent quarter, signaling that it had another strong holiday season, especially as people shift their shopping habits online during the pandemic. So in other words, Walmart now offers the same convenience of return services for online shopping as Amazon.com. Amazon also permits customers to return products at Whole Foods markets, Kohl's, and UPS stores or lockers within 30 days of delivery without a box or label, free of cost. This is the missing piece for e-commerce in that returns have always been what's a fancy $5 word? A boondoggle?
A boondoggle.
A boondoggle.
A kerfluffle.
A kerfluffle. Yeah, this makes complete sense.
So the labels are the most important thing, just because not a lot of people have printers in their houses anymore. You have to go to the office to get it. So having that QR code for USPS, FedEx, and UPS is kind of awesome. Like you get them printed there and they send it out.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just reading an article this morning about how QR codes are suddenly fashionable again.
Wait, I saw that too.
Remember all the things I used to say about QR codes, and now it's like I had the same thing. I had to do a return at Kohl's. Now I have a printer, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this out. I drove to Kohl's, and I really didn't want to go in a store, but I was like, I always say I got to eat my own dog food. I report on this stuff. I should at least figure out how it works. And besides the fact that the poor woman at the Kohl's was buried under a pile of returns, it worked seamlessly. It literally took me longer to walk through the store and find the actual counter than to do the physical return. So I think this is a great thing. And you're right, Bart, about that missing link with the printers. That was always the thing that kind of would block any kind of service like this. But now with the QR code, which is now suddenly a very fashionable thing, returns are easy peasy.
I guess it's fashionable now to have QR codes because that really is the definition of contactless anything.
It really is.
Right?
And it's funny how many things are being used for how QR codes are being, especially during the pandemic. If you go anywhere, like if you go to order something, or there's been a couple times where we would go have something outdoors and it's like the waiter would come, all masked up and just point to a QR code on the table and say, "There's your menu, pal." So, it's become a very useful utility during the pandemic.
And the greatest thing is, like, I think Amazon sometimes does this, where you can just give them the whatever the item you have. You don't even have to package it. It's like, here's the item. They'll do it for you. Like a UPS store would just do it for you, print the label and send it out. Done and done.
That's crazy and I think that's a real game changer, because there's probably a small percentage of people that won't do a return because they just can't be bothered to package it up, and they'll just they basically, it's like sunk cost. It's like, well, I've already paid for it. What's my time worth to go return this $5 item? I don't feel like dealing with it, or a $10 item, or whatever it is. And now it's just like, here it is, take it, get it out of me.
That's me. I am so bad and lazy with returning stuff because it gives me so much anxiety for some reason. But
yeah, I used to be the same way, and now that these easy return things are happening, yeah, I'm now going, you know what? This is my money, and this thing is broken.
Kohl's, I think, takes Amazon now too, right?
Yeah, Kohl's. That was what I was just saying. That was my experience. I tried Kohl's, Amazon. Works great.
And then I was just at Whole Foods, and the big Whole Foods we have here, they took out all their lockers for Amazon groceries, but
Right.
upstairs they actually have a counter for returns. So you can just give them the box. So that has changed too.
Yeah. So my Amazon, the one thing I returned, I get these, I might cut this out of the episode, but it's these melatonin gummies that I've been taking. And it comes in a bag, but obviously they're gummies, so they're very sensitive to heat. Well, I got this delivery. It was on a subscription, and I got the delivery, and the gummies were fused into one big solid giant block of gummy. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do with this? And then I'm like, yeah. So I went to take one. I'm like, well, maybe I'll just chop pieces off. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I paid $10 for this bag of gummies, and I went to Kohl's, and I basically, she's like, "This is you want to return?" I'm like, yeah. Here's this block of gummy. Knock yourself out. And they were, they refunded me right away. So it was great.
Yeah.
So anyway, FedEx has also recently partnered with Happy Returns, an e-commerce return technology company, to return products and persons without a box label from various retailers. And to close it out, general online sales surged 47.2% year over year between November 1st and December 24th. Overall retail sales grew only by 2.4% as the rise in COVID-19 cases and new restrictions led to a decline in foot traffic. Well, maybe we'll get a bounce back. Everybody go get your vaccine. All right, next story. New drone delivery rules. The Federal Aviation Administration has announced new rules for civilian and commercial drone usage that could enable more drone deliveries. The new rules will require remote identification of drones and will allow the flights of small drones over people and at night under certain conditions. These updated guidelines come as Amazon, Walmart, Google, and UPS continue to methodically test drone use for delivery. In fact, Amazon and T-Mobile are part of an industry group that's helping the FAA develop the technical requirements for remote ID. So are other big players such as Wing, which got its start as a Google project, Airbus, and Intel. Remote ID provides identification of drones in flight as well as the location of their control stations, and will enable intelligence agencies and law enforcement to track what drones are law-abiding and which are not. So don't fly your drone near the airport anymore. The new rules will relax restrictions for flying drones over people and at night, but add mandates that they be outfitted with anti-collision lights that can be seen for 3 miles. Currently, a waiver is required to fly a drone at night or over people not involved in the operation of the drone. All drones that must be registered with the FAA will be required to have equipment that broadcasts their identification, location, and control station, or be operated at FAA recognized areas. All right, so moving forward, this just means we're making drones safer. We're making drones more like planes. Planes have lights, they have markers, they have things that identify what they are. These are big things flying through the sky that could have terrible implications if used improperly. Of course, people want to make money from drones. And how do they do that? They do it via delivery. And if you make this safer and more equitable for all parties, this is going to move forward. Again, Bart and I, we've done many drone stories over the past couple of years. We still scratch our heads as how this would fit into our lives, but companies are still moving forward. I think this whole, COVID definitely has changed how people they're going to fly, because I think they're going to start doing deliveries. I saw they're going to start doing deliveries of vaccines into rural areas. That kind of stuff makes sense.
Right.
Makes sense, right? But I think overall deliveries is just going to happen, right? Like they need to decrease the amount of time people are there's trucks on the road and all that kind of stuff. So obviously the cities are not going to be it. Unless, I could imagine them flying them to apartment buildings, like having landing zones in apartment buildings you get picked
up on
the
roof or something like that, or something. I just keep, Bart, you brought up actually the most succinct point there, in that what would this be made for? To get people medicine or vaccines or some other kind of life-saving stuff to rural areas or to places that are not well served by Amazon delivery trucks. You and I always sit there and think, oh, they're going to come and drop my charger cable in my backyard and I have to set up a landing zone and all that stuff.
Eventually.
Could you imagine?
Eventually I can see that happening. I think they're going to start using it for life-saving and things like that for now, because if they're doing it for life-saving and things, obviously it's going to be less of them. You still got to be careful because, some idiot is going to try to shoot it out of the sky. But I think that there's going to be a lot more of it, which is good, it's a good test and testimonial to it.
And the hobbyists are complaining about the added regulations, but think about it. There's a lot of drones in the air already. you've got some people using it in pretty dodgy kind of ways.
Yep.
This needed to happen. I'm surprised it took this long to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the long run, it's a good thing. So you have to have some lights on your drone. So what? You have to have a license plate. So you have to have it on an airplane too. You're flying this thing in the air at great speeds that could do some real stupid damage to people. So yeah, I think this is a good thing.
With like important goods too.
Like phone chargers.
Yes, exactly.
Like, I need my printer cable so I can print my receipts.
Yeah, I need my printer cable and my charger cable, and
I need an extra thick hair clip for my thick hair.
Here comes the drone. So on the plus side is the reduction of carbon footprint for delivery. Moral of the story, drone delivery is coming. Amazon keeps quoting it's going to be here within a few months, but they said that 3 years ago. But, never count out Amazon. We'll see. Keep an eye on this one. Next story. Speaking of Amazon, it's the Amazon holiday report. We're just going to give you a couple numbers here. Amazon said it delivered more than 1.5 billion products worldwide during a, quote, record-breaking holiday season. Independent businesses selling on Amazon saw their global sales grow more than 50% during the 2020 holiday season compared to 2019. Small and medium-sized businesses sold almost 1 billion products on Amazon store during the holidays. Amazon delivered 8 million plus items to alternative delivery locations such as Amazon hubs or 4-star stores. Amazon said it invested $2.5 billion with a B in frontline employee incentives and bonuses this year, including $500 million in holiday bonuses for some workers. And more than $18 billion with a B went towards helping independent businesses grow sales on Amazon. The company spent more than $100 million on promos to help small businesses connect with customers during the holiday. And the big stat, Amazon's Cyber Monday and Black Friday shopping seasons were the largest ever in company history. Among the most popular goods purchased over the holiday season were the iRobot Roomba 675, Light Bright Ultimate Classic Retro Toy, Jenga Classic Game, Just Dance 2021, Nintendo Switch Standard Edition, and the ever popular and more. So you look at every one of these popular items and it's like, I'm stuck in my house. I need to clean my rug. Let me get a Roomba. I'm stuck in my house. Let's get Light Bright for the kids because I used to like Light Bright. I'm bored. Let's play some Jenga. And of course, the video games are always popular. Go ahead, Britt.
I was just about to say, Just Dance was a very smart move to invest in over quarantine. We did, and we had tons of fun with it for like 3 weeks. And then, as most other hobbies we took up in quarantine, we got real sick of it. But it was fun for a little bit, Just Dance. So that makes total sense. That's one of the most popular items sold.
Can you enlighten for the olds in the back? What is Just Dance?
So Just Dance it's originally started as a Wii only game, and it basically picks up your movements and you just like dance along with songs and have to get all the dance moves, and it's actually like really legit hard.
So it's Dance Dance Revolution for your house.
Yes, except it involves your full body. It picks up your arms. Not just legs. Yeah, it picks up your arms, your chest, your head, your butt. I don't know.
So you get some exercise and you have some fun too.
Oh, I mean, it's like commonplace when you play Just Dance. You start it off in sweatpants and you end up like naked by the end of the time you're playing it because you sweat so profusely. It's like intense. Like it's actually a workout. It's one of my favorite things to do, actually.
All right. I'll remember never to buy Just Dance. Okay. That is totally not something I would do. All right, so looking forward into 2021, obviously the pandemic really helped Amazon and Walmart and all the big e-commerce players, as well as some of the small players. Moving forward, I think, and this is just me riffing here, you're going to see a shift in consumer spending towards, as people get more optimistic and seeing the pandemic hopefully subside, you're going to see that shift go from Just Dance and Roombas to the ever popular swimming pools and bathing costumes and the like. And again, companies that are positioned to service are going to win. So
Amazon did well.
Amazon did well, and they get a bell. That's it.
Hey, that's how we end it.
We couldn't figure out how to close this one up, so we close it up with a song. You guys got anything to add?
Nope.
I do not.
All right, we're looking forward to a bright, strong, and prosperous 2021. Everyone, please stay healthy. That's it for this episode. We'll be back next Friday to break down the week's e-commerce, tech, and retail news. And don't forget our long-form podcast, In the Ring, available on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. Until then, we'll see you on the internet next Friday. Bye, guys.
Woo. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.